Okay, so time to do some work on an adventure. I hope we're all having a wonderful week. I'm getting back up to speed at work after having had a couple of weeks off. So I've actually managed to do some work this week today, complete some work and get it out the thing. It doesn't help that I've had a bunch of really tricky, annoying things. The details of which I will not bore you. With which I will not bore you. That's a sentence that got away from me. Okay. So from those of you who are here on Sunday, if indeed there is anyone here, boop. I need to find my channel. I need to find my chat. Channel and mod view. No one's looking. No one's paying attention to me. It's just me talking to myself. That's fine. There'll be videos. No one watches the videos either. Doesn't matter. Still talking to myself. Still fine. Yeah, so I've got a bottle in the way so I can't see all my various icons. Okay, so here's what we ended up with on Monday night when I played. Where do I want to be? Where do I want my head to be? Bottom left. Let's go bottom left today. There we go. So here's where we ended up. Here's the client. That was absolutely a Werner Herzog thing. And you can see, give me a second because I just clicked rejoin as player. It's doing its thing. That I'd set up light. I'd made it daylight mode, so that made me a little sad because it didn't have all of the effects that I really wanted. Oh, a little bit there. Okay, so can't see through doors, which is good. So I'm going to try and deal with that in the train. So there's going to be a fair amount of Googling on my part to try and work out how to set all that dynamic lighting so it actually does the dynamic lighting thing. Because I'm sure it's a PEBCAC issue. I'm sure that I think I've done what I need to do, but I actually haven't done what I need to do. And if we go here, there's the train, what I made. Yes, and here's me playing with the dynamic lighting again. So again, I've just switched it to daylight mode, which I don't think I really want to do. What I want is to have these giving like patches of... Oh, idiot. I didn't move the player thing. Need to move the player thing. So I want the lights giving patches of sort of lighter, darker bits. Which I know Roll20 can do. So it's just a question of me actually finding out the proper dynamic lighting, the mood lighting, rather than just straight up daylight mode, which you can still set boundaries on, like rooms and things, but which requires that it basically just all is lit up like that. See? Oh, and it went through a wall too, and I don't want to be able to go through walls, so that's something that I'm going to need to change the settings of as well. Just have a wee sip of my Glen Scotia Speyside here. I was about to say care of the Malt Whisky Club, but that sounds like they gave it to me. They didn't give it to me. I had to pay for it. But anyway, GM Darkness. Okay, page details. Background, grid, cell width, movement, dynamic lighting barriers, restrict movement. Yes, they do. Look at that. Save settings. Now they can't walk through walls. See? The joy of frobnicating, just messing around with things to see if we can work out what's going on. Okay, dynamic lighting, Roll20. Torches, dynamic lighting, troubleshooting. Dynamic lighting, you should remember you still need to reveal areas for the fog of war. No. Our tokens are no longer seeing when you view them. Dynamic lighting, Roll20. Oh, hang on, tutorial. There we go. Roll20 wiki. Currently have 2 dynamic lighting systems. Advanced fog of war and updated dynamic lighting. That's the one we want. UDL. Darkness tool. Convert lighting. Convert lighting is a one-way tool to automate convert. No. Can be used for managing what players can or can't see. Reset, explore, or draw permanent darkness. Nope. Cool. That's the settings. Night vision aesthetics with multiple tokens are overlapped. Grid disappears. Terrible. Just terrible. So add barriers, block lighter movement, continues to function. Yeah. Convert lighting tool. Dynamic lighting, help center. Vision examples. That's what I probably want. Carried light source. Don't want to carry stationary light sources. Static light source from wall sconces to street lamps. Since they won't be moving. Token vision off, bright light on. Don't want that distance. Low light on. Okay. Low light, very dim. Yep. Directional light, carried or stationary, not such a thing. So we can see here. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I'm looking at a thing here. So Roll20 has a very handy wiki here. And it's got the token settings. Why don't I just drop that into that? For low light. So it is low light. So what I need to do is find my tokens, which are actually on my GM info level, and make sure that those settings are... Okay, so it doesn't have vision. It doesn't emit bright light. I want it to emit low light. And... Actually, no, what I want it to do is emit bright light for a couple of squares and then low light for after those squares. So let's... Can I make that happen? How do I see that? Well, first I need OG to be there. And OG is on the token level. So in an ideal world, if I pop levels, too many levels. If we treat that as if it were a wall sconce, actually that's good because that will cover both of those rooms. I did that on purpose. I'm a genius. Very bright to there, and then dark. Oh, hang on, is that? Let's go 10 and 15. Let's do that. I want it to be moody. So let's rejoin as player and see what happens. I'm not in daylight mode. I'm still in daylight mode, so that's not helpful. What would be great is if I could be joined as a player, but I could click a thing that lets me see what players see while still adjusting my GM settings. That would make me a happy chappy. Alas, that is not an option. So I'll have to deal with what I'm dealing with, what I'm doing. So going backwards and forwards. GM overlay. Can I change the color of the light to dynamic lighting? Advanced settings. Light multiplier. Nope. No light multiplier. No directional light. Details. Location. No. Aura. No. Okay. Save settings. Right. So now we go to the settings here. You want dynamic lighting. I do not want daylight mode. No, I want daylight mode. No, I don't want daylight mode. Okay, save. Let's see what this looks like. Because this was supposed to be what was working on Monday, and then it didn't, and I don't entirely know why, and it makes me a bit cross. So here's me scrolling down. Look, so there's the token I should be able to see. I cannot see. So we need to work out what setting I'm doing wrong. Let's go to YouTube. So I'm not stealing someone else's IP. I will roll 20 dynamic lighting. How to use dynamic lighting 9 months ago, 2 months ago. Okay.
Oh, I think I might have done a bad.
Right. So I'll let that go in the background.
Welcome back to the castle, everybody. This is Night Saber Z42.
And I will drop in there
Little World 20
the
tutorial.
lighting. This is one I've used
about the
before, but I
UI
just
interface.
clearly don't remember how it works.
And we'll also get into
using.
some dynamic lighting stuff as well. So let's
There we
jump
go.
into one of the modules. This will be the Humblewood official module that I have purchased.
Okay.
I renamed it as Test HW. So this is kind of where I go if I need a page or a map from this specific game. I can pull it into my own because I had already created the other game
So I'm scrubbing through here.
by certain characters. So it represents character, so that is just in the bars itself. Don't actually link it. That's on the GM info layer. I can go ahead and toggle that. This actually has nothing to do with dynamic lighting. That feature is actually in the page settings itself. So when we're on the dynamic lighting,
So this person's
you see that
drawn
there's
a whole bunch of
lines
stuff.
drawn,
Yep.
most notably along the walls and the tents. So if I put a character,
So there's our
here,
dynamic lighting again.
let's go back to Ardwin. Let's say I take this guy right here, and I click on Control L. You can see that he can't see anything. So
Okay. So I
there's
can look at
walls
what they're
here.
doing through the power of
there's
Control L.
dynamic lighting, sorta. Let's take a look. So dynamic lighting is actually turned off for this page. Instead
That's
they
handy.
use legacy lighting, which is the feature that came before it. So
That's good to know.
everything
Control
here
L.
has basically been replaced with dynamic lighting.
Okay.
But this would, well, he's going to emit a light of some sort.
I don't want them
Right.
to. I don't want to do it.
Dynamic lighting is actually turned off. So, and he's got sight.
They're using legacy lighting. I don't want to use legacy lighting. I want to use dynamic lighting.
So if I add a line here into the dynamic lighting, now my token cannot see beyond that. You see, it's like there's actually a wall.
See, they've
there,
done
a
it so
physical
that the
wall
token is emitting the
along
light.
it. So everything that you want
Not
to
down
be
with
a
that.
wall that would
What I want,
obscure
like the
lighting,
character is
you need to
emitting
actually
light. I
draw
want this
that.
to emit light.
So, a couple links that I'll post in the description down below. This is a dynamic lighting example, and this kind of gives you the best performance guide, which is really handy to look at. Although this hasn't been updated
Yeah.
for the new UI,
So there's it doing the light
so
thing.
do
What I
take
want
that into consideration.
Is for it to do the light
but
thing.
Does mention that you probably shouldn't use freehand tools. So,
Control L.
the second one is an actual page on dynamic lighting and just what the different features do.
Yeah.
Again, if I'm not mistaken, this is the old
So
UI.
what I need
So also take that into
is
consideration.
to work
but
out
it's
how to
still
do
worth
that with
a
these
read 'cause
tokens
the terminology is going to be the same across the platform.
without them being just
So
visible as
that's
tokens.
how the legacy lighting works. Let's do a different example. Let's go over here to... Actually, let's keep it on the same page. I'm going off script here, which is pretty bad.
Isn't that to the map layer?
I'm actually going to get rid of the dynamic lighting from the
No,
legacy
I
lighting.
don't want it to be on the map
And
layer.
instead, I'm going to turn on dynamic lighting, the updated version. So this feature is in active development, so be aware of that.
Okay.
If you want to go back, you need to turn on the legacy.
Once again, we're in the
which is right
token layer.
here.
I don't
Turn
want the
that
token
on.
layer.
Revealed
It is
areas in
doing
one
what I
system
want it
will
to
not
do,
be
though.
revealed in the others.
You know what I'm going
So
to do?
just be aware of that. So let's click on.
I'm going to
or turn
delete
on dynamic
all the
lighting,
tokens that I don't want to use immediately
and
adjust the
so
settings of
let's
this
take a look at some
one
of the
and
features
just
here.
copy paste this
Get
one.
rid of- Oops. Actually, need
I
this.
want to change the lighting.
Let's take a look at some of the features here. So in this dynamic lighting, you have a lot more options than you had in the previous.
Yep.
The previous, say, on this type of a map.
Yep. So
Where
I'm just scrubbing, and
players
hopefully
are
I'm not
moving
scrubbing
around
past what I
and
need.
exploring, they would have I would turn that on. That way they can see where they've this is an outdoor area, so they should be able to see all except for the areas that can block line of sight.
Yeah.
So that is what I would use that for, and actually I will show you an example. So let's turn on daylight mode. I'm gonna turn vision on for him, and now he can see everything. There we go, Control L, and so now he can actually see everything.
Okay, that's good. But I want to know about the tokens.
Basically just makes it so the whole map. So I think that's a pretty handy feature. Just the first thing I need to do for each token is turn on vision.
Okay, that's the characters. I don't want
The
characters.
whole area to be illuminated for reasons that I will be explaining. So you need to turn on vision.
I just need to find.
For this fact
This might be
alone,
this isn't
like,
good
there's a
content.
campfire
This isn't
here,
fun for you guys.
all
I'm
of
just
the
watching a YouTube
creatures and
channel.
players.
Let's do other stuff. I can futz around with lighting later. Okay, so let's go to objects and tokens. So there's my object and token. That's great. Oh, look at that. See, I love what it's doing with the lighting. This is a steerage class thing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start populating things. So going to my little I've been rating oh, my brain went away. Pinterest with interest. Ha ha ha. Just did a search. Did I save it? No. Okay, just do a search for Roll20. Oh, you fool. That was in the same page. Let's get back into the game. And I just did a search for Roll20 tokens. And then we have all of these from people much smarter than I. Variety of things. And I've made a selection of them that I'm interested in. And I will be saving some. So Marauder, Pirates. So I've saved these as Pirate Adventure, so I'll muck around with them another time. Chuck them into the Pirates and Whales Adventure. Yes, that is a Tiefling Rogue. Okay, go to the train. Oh, that's not helpful for anyone, is it? And so I have these different characters that I've turned into tokens. And the way I've done that is with the joy of Token Stamp 2. So drag and drop. Just make them a little bigger. Change the border tint. The reason why I'm changing the border tint to all of them being largely that, look, let's be honest, quite unpleasant green colour, is because then I know the ones that I've messed around with, because it's not a colour that's used by others. So then I know, okay, that's one that I've done the thing with. Because some of them don't have full transparency, so Token Stamp, the advantage of Token Stamp is it gives it transparency around the edges. So when you drop it into your thingy, don't make me look like an idiot. Let me do the thing. It doesn't take up the whole square. It takes up the circle. There we go. See? And that's a Broy Orc that I intend to put in the dining car. One of them. Because there's going to be a bunch of Broy Orcs eating. So I feel like I'm about to make myself sad because I think this map might need to be bigger. And I've done all the walls and things, but I feel like I need to increase the size of this so that the squares cover more things. So what I'm going to do now is do that. Increase, like it's a pretty big kind of map as it is anyway. And then if I go to maps and background, just select that. Wait, I said select that, thank you kindly. And make that a little bigger. Oh, I'm moving the whole map. I don't want to move the whole map. I want it to stay in its corner there. I need to be on tokens. Because my point there is to, like, I know that it's never going to be perfect because it's not a custom map that I've, what am I making? Or just messing around. I am, Bowpants, populating the train that my characters are going to be heisting on Monday night. So I'm trying to get this big enough that we can there's enough movement around, there's enough room to get around and doing stuff. So once I've made this right, I'm going to have a try at increasing the size of the okay, fine, cancel. It is going to be very big. There's a non-zero chance that I also might need to make this multiple pages, which I'd like to avoid if possible, but and for a second I was just streaming me watching a YouTube tutorial video, which I realized wasn't great, and it's something I can do in my time. Where did Bro... There we go, there's Bro Walk. So let's see, did I just... No, I didn't. Oh, that's more better, huh? Because Bro Walk was taking up most of the table before. Yeah, I do like that more. 1, 2, 3. I wonder if I can sneak like just a little bit more. Especially without getting that prompt for it to be like, no, it's too big. Oh, please. Have you used Roll20 before there, Bowpants? And then once I've populated, I'll give them all their attribute. Oh, I like that. I like that much better. Twice, yeah. But now comes the sad bit, which is that I made all the walls and things appropriate. So can I just... Because if I can just drag and drop that... Oh my goodness, is it close enough to make me happy? I don't think it is. A plague on you and your house, sir. Let's see. Oh, hang on. That's... Are you modelling the roof for Train Top Shenanigans? See, this is why it's good to have people in the chat, because I hadn't. But it's probably likely that they're going to want to do that, aren't they? So now I'm going to need to find some roof models. I think what I can do is say that that's quite close, and then zoom in and just do a bit of adjustment. No, I don't want to make it bigger or smaller. I want it to... Oh no, that'll work. I feel that's close enough for government work. I wish there was a way to angle them a bit more. But yes, knowing my group, I'm going to have to just redo stuff, I think. So you can go away. You can go away. I'm just gonna have to redo it, I think. Let's see. Some of them I won't have to. Dynamic lighting. Hey, Dave. So I'm down with that one. Oi. Yeah, it's gone just a little bit too big. Probably would have been better to do each one individually. What does that do? Oh, that's better. Hey, would you look at that? So I can just smush it a little bit that way, because I'm not feeling like I need to be super precise with the walls. Oh. Oh, excuse me. Deafening everybody. Let's zoom in here. Get rid of that. What, this one? There we go. Move that this way. Like, not quite. Like, again, it doesn't have to be super precise. This one is very much the opposite of precise. Oh, and I've left those ones behind. But the rest of the doors actually look like they've translated pretty darn well. I just need to make the map bigger because they've gone off the... Oh, that's... Hang on a second. No, I haven't. We're good. It's far too tall, though. Probably lose about 15 of those, if not more. And another 10. And another 10. That'll work. Oh, wait, no, I needed to make it wider, didn't I? To account for... Yes, give me a prompt. Tell me that it's too big. That's fine. Once I've zoomed in and moved these bits, I will likely just make it smaller again. No. Oh, it's not going to let me just select those. It's going to be a pain in the posterior. Although that said, that's actually not looking too shabby. Put that one there. Again, I wish there was an angle. Like, obviously that's, at least partly on me because I was clearly in a bit of a rush when I was drawing it initially. But being able to alter the angle afterwards would be nice. I say this. I haven't written the code. I don't know how incredibly difficult that may or may not be to do. Maybe it's very hard. Oh, look, it's a little vault car with a little thing for them to try and steal in the middle of it. Lots of fun. Okay, need you to select all of that and none of, yes, the other thing. There we go. Oh no, because it goes by whole squares when you use the arrows. Oh, it's so tedious. Once again, this is probably something I shall do on my own. Let's start populating things. And working out what I'm going to do. Because I don't want this to just be, oh, go away, you. Yuck. No one wants you. Sorry, that's out of character for me. It's just a green line. I don't need to be mean to it. So the structure of this, or the style of this ship, is, or the train is. So here's the front. Here's the back. A couple of the characters are going to be in one of the first class cabins, which is this one. And did I give 2? No, I didn't create 2. Cool. So they'll be in one of these. We then have, here's some galley sort of stuff. The guns are because they're fanging it over a wasteland. And there's a very real risk of being attacked by big, nasty monsters. I know this because I'm in charge of the big, nasty monsters. Oi, scroll up. Scroll up. So our heroes have been hired to take a silver-bound chest from this train. They're not overly fussed by the legality of their mission, because it's going to pay very well. So that person there is the engineer, and he's going to have a couple of friends who are stokers, who are going to be dwarves. I haven't worked out, do the players have the ability to uncouple the train carriages? See, this is why it's good to do this kind of thing, because I bet you they're going to try at some point. I'm just going to take notes. You're very good at this. I generally just make stuff up, and then when they do something which is like completely unexpected, I sort of roll with it. But that is something I should probably have plans for. I have sorted out in my head the armor class and hit points of the various walls of the trains, because I know that someone's going to go crazy on that. So, train roof. Uncouple, question mark? One of the players is, because they've got a spaceship, and it's a Firefly style spaceship, so it's unarmed, but one of them very much has the intention of putting railguns on their ship, and that's going to be interesting. So there's a train guard captain, because obviously you want a captain in the driving thing, and then a generic train guard. What I'm also going to do, roll 20 token Western, because they're in totally not Firefly. So what I'm after is this kind of thing. So let's just download that one. Age of Sales characters, no. Female hunter. Hand-drawn lightning rail in historical trains. Oh, see? Look, it's train roofs. Aha, look at that, the lightning rail. That's the one that I've been stealing from. I saved it and absolutely just cut and pasted it. I believe it's from an Eberron map. So I just need the roofs. Lightning rail roof. Lightning rail roof. No. Yuck. Mundane stuff. Design. Okay, so there's a roof. Wow, that's rad. I mentioned Patreon on Sunday, but clearly Reddit has a whole bunch of epic maps. around here. Save image as. That can go in train. And then I'll probably likely use that as the roof to do the things. Bye-bye. Roll20 D&D tokens. I don't want to just say cowboy Hitler. Sure. Why not? It's interesting seeing that there's a bunch of top-down versus front view tokens. I really like front view tokens, but it seems that top-down is a lot of people's faves as well. I'm going to save that one for my pirate adventure because that's pretty darn nifty. No. No. A bit more flintlocky than I'm after. I am after more sort of cowboy type characters of Burning Games, Dragons Conquer Americas. More like this. No, that's again, it's a little bit more musketeer-y than I'm after. What about more like this? Hey, that'll work. So apparently everyone carries their firearm just over their shoulder. Hey, it's a McCree. Thank you. Go away. Don't suppose there's anyone looking sort of deputy-like. This hermit person seems to be excellent. And obviously there's that whole I'd do anything to be able to draw like this except, you know, dedicate actual practice and time to it. That's another mad person. Prospector. Wasteland Walker. Halloween costumes. Someone putting spackle on a car. And then painting it. Of course it's going to look better when you've painted it. Oh, okay. Flawless? Flawless? We're going to go with flawless? I don't think we're going to go with flawless. I really do like that Orc Bouncer. I'm going to download that. And I really do like this creepy Dr. Jekyll looking guy. So I'm going to do that. Okay, Skeleton Cowboy. Not what I'm after. Preacher. That's good. I like that. More gunslingers. And another clickbaity ad wanting me to buy stuff. Right. So I go to my downloads bit now. And they can... Background color can be white so that we can not worry about the slight overlap there. Because I do like that sword and that's going to be train. Let's call that a marshal, shall we? I might even name the marshal. Train Kumani. Train marshal token. There we go. Encounters. Yes. Let's just put that in the encounters folder in general. Okay, so totally not Firefly. So yeah, there's a mix of slug shoot of what I call them slug throwers and just standard fantasy weapons in this world. And behold, so we have an engineer. Engineer gets a nameplate. People can see the nameplate. Controlled by me. Yes, I've called myself God in game. The engineer is not going to be mega tough. 12 hit points. Pretty observant. and is just wearing like leather clothings, so they can see but not edit. They can't edit those. Compact, bottom overlapping. Save. So then, I want 3 stokers there. And what I should probably do is so here's my planning document for this. So we have the client and the crew. Hang on, I haven't updated my contents page because you see update table, update entire table. Cool. The Tranquility and her crew. Tranquility and the crew. So these are my players. Okay, I don't want you to be. No. Here we go. Crew. Normal, right. That is what I'm doing, isn't it? Nope. Just making it happen. So, yeah. Orf. So we can all see, so it's all in one place. We have Bobby Solo, the pilot. If we go to another tab, because I love me some tabs. Oh, actually, I'm going to put that somewhere else because I realize that I don't want to reset the invite link, and that'll be what'll happen because I'll put it on the video and then I'll be sad again. Totally Not Firefly is the name of the campaign. There we go. And here are our active characters. So Bobby Solo, who's who we're writing about now. And Bobby Solo, so many things open, is the pilot. Bobby Solo is a Ganassi fighter. Yes, I am going to try and make sure that my... Okay. What level are you? Heading 3. Heading 3. Ganassi fighter. I can spell the words. Pilot. Arcane archer. Let's do some dot points here as we worked it out. How do I not be a bad player? I've never played D&D and would like to start, but I'm afraid of being problematic. Okay, James the Dragon. How can I be a good player? I would say that having a session 0, so being aware of what everybody is expecting in the game, because if you're someone who makes loads and loads of jokes, so breaks immersion a lot, which is fine, it's what I do and what a lot of the people I play with do, but you're at a table with people who really care about immersion and really care about setting and the role play, that could really frustrate people. I mean, this is aside from all the standard stuff of, obviously, don't use any problematic language and that sort of stuff. Even if it's your character, try and imply that you're using language without using language, that kind of thing. Be open to feedback. So if someone says, you know, you might want to X, Y, or Z, and if that's something which works, and it seems to be, having people say, please don't do this because it makes me uncomfortable. So having a character that makes a lot of jokes is no go. Well, it depends on the table. So if you've got a bard who's a comedian, and that fits with the setting and everyone's happy with it, then that's all good. Then absolutely you could do that. It's more at the tables I sit at, and sometimes to the detriment of the excellent world building that our DMs are doing, we'll make meta jokes or outside world jokes that can be a little bit. Again, they affect the immersion, and if it works, and if everyone's happy with it, that's fine. But it's a question of whether or not everyone's happy with that as a thing. Ex-Marine. So this Air Ganassi is based very much on Bobby Draper from The Expanse, which is awesome, and I heartily recommend it. Martian question mark likes to punch on, and incidentally, Bobby Solo is also the pilot and the character who is desperate to get railguns on the on their ship. So we have OG-22, who's a Warforged sorcerer. Words are with a draconic bloodline. Another thing as well, James, is to share the ball. Ever hear of Hero Forge? Oh, Hero Forge is so much fun. I could lose hours in Hero Forge, and I have yet to buy the 3D print files for all of them or have them made for one. But one of the people at our table got one of the coloured ones made when they were doing a sale around Christmas time. Mwah! It's so good. It's so good. He's the chef. Very old model. Found by K. Lee and restored. Chef / bartender / autopilot. Because doesn't need to sleep. Kaylee is our halfling artificer, who's Kaylee. Artificer, and is the kind of artificer that is a battlesmith, which is fun. Yeah, but like a good character creation thing is so much fun. Like half the fun I find in D&D Beyond. I love using the character creator in D&D Beyond because it's just so good. Or back in the day, City of Heroes, creating all the characters in City of Heroes was just so much fun. About robots, machines, and people. Built / rebuilt OG-22, and now I can be all clever, do some internal linking in the document, because that's what I like to do. And yeah. So they've been hired to steal this thing, but it's actually I actually have my Dragonborn character created already. But as first campaign, I'd like a Tabaxi. Tabaxis are loads of fun, because yeah, you can put on silly voices and they have that thing where they like to fiddle around with stuff, and that can be an awful lot of fun to play. Noomcat. He. Sima. Got a multi here. Sorcerer. Fighter. Divine Soul. Is the owner of the ship. Well, lessor, really. And is confident in their mission to become the leader of the church. Set off to make a name for themselves. There we go. And now we have Dr. Hyde, who is a human warlock with a pact. Do you know of any good places you can find a DM? I do not know where you are. However, most most game shops will have like D&D Wizards of the Coast organises like regular nights at various places, or the game shops organise them. If you're on Facebook and there's a area gamers, area role players, that kind of thing, Facebook group. I meant an online one. Oh yeah. Well, a lot of those have shifted to online as well. So again, if you've got an area Facebook group, you could be able to join up with someone in there, because there's often people looking for things. If you know other people who would be interested in trying it, and one of them would be interested in being a DM, you could always try setting it up yourself. It's a lot of fun. It's much more mainstream than it used to be, as everybody is probably aware. Not that kind of doctor. And certainly tools like Roll20, D&D Beyond, and all that kind of thing have been super helpful in doing updating tire table. Bing. Making those kinds of plans, having that kind of thing set up. So we have the client. The client has a couple of offsiders who are Kenku. We have knife scraping on stone and stone scraping along knife, who are not biologically related but consider themselves to be kin. One of them is a monk, and the other is a ranger. And there's, of course, mooks. They'll have goons. Now, the reason why they've hired our team to do the thing is as a distraction. Because what they actually want to do is kidnap the apprentice. The apprentice... Where are we? Where's my thing? Nope, that's maps. There we go. I was sure... Encounters. There we go. The apprentice. The apprentice is a halfling child, basically, who, at the age they are at the moment, is a level 4 sorcerer, so is quite a strong sorcerer. And they're being kidnapped because of the potential. I've heard bards can sometimes... It depends. There's such a your mileage may vary on a lot of this James the Dragon, because it really does depend on who is the group, who is the player, and what's been agreed to, what's been established. Again, if it's a comedy, like if people are just having a bit of fun, then having someone who can play around can be very enjoyable. But if everyone else in the group is being super, super, super dour, and the DM is being super, super, super dour, and it's a very grim, dark campaign, and you have someone cracking jokes. Now, on the one hand, that can actually be quite good levity and helpful, but on the other hand, it might just piss everybody off. So it becomes a question of, again, whether people are happy with that sort of interaction, or if it's spoiling it for people, if it's not as much fun, if and then it becomes again a question of the other players. How do you stop players metagaming? If it's too gratuitous, I'll call it out. Basically, I will reinforce when players know something versus when characters know something. Most of the people that I've played with, certainly recently, they will actively try and stop themselves from metagaming, and they'll actually say, "Oh, hang on, no, I'm metagaming. Sorry." If you as a player reached a conclusion that you're not sure your character would know about, I would find that a skill test doesn't hurt. I like a Dragon Ball bard that doesn't like harming dragons and prefers to talk to them rather than fight as similar as people rather than monsters. Yeah, that'd be a really cool character to play. And certainly there are certain canonical, I believe, groups of Dragonborn who actively worship dragons. And sort of really want to, essentially they want to be dragons. Did I save the peak chores? I have so many peak chores of things. I think I've deleted some of them. Yeah, so that does sound like a really fun character concept, and one that could be, because hopefully you won't go straight up against dragons as an early character, like a level 1 or 2 character, because then you'll just get smooshed. But I like the idea of having a bard who's traveling the world trying to find dragons and talk to dragons. If you're like College of Lore or College of Whispers, maybe your bardness comes through seeing them as equals. Ooh, even better. Dragon with tickets on themselves. Yeah. But yeah, going back to the metagaming question, I think the big one is sort of, as with anything, I think a lot of it comes down to don't be a dick. Like, if you're playing a character with a wisdom of 6 and an intelligence of 8, you shouldn't be the one who's coming up with the plans or dealing with the traps or recognizing, oh, I know this creature because I've read the monster manual cover to cover. But if you're playing a ranger who is experienced in the kind of wilderness you're in, even if the character in-game hasn't necessarily encountered something, if you think they might be aware of it, insight check, nature check, wisdom roll, that kind of thing. I've done that a few times with myself, where I've sort of said to the DM, I'm having an idea. It's possible my character could have the idea. Can I do the roll? Like, roll insight, roll nature, roll history. But if it's something that my character just straight up wouldn't know, then I would absolutely not. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. The Apprentice. Boop. And boop again. They can go in train. So yeah, so what they're doing is essentially treating the characters as a distraction. So we're going to put the apprentice. Where are we going to put the apprentice? Probably in the other first class train. I was sure. We're in steerage. Where'd steerage go? There's steerage. AG8, AG22 is in steerage at the moment. Right. Yeah, let's put the apprentice in steerage. Travelling on the DL. Encounters. Downloaded there, no. Kumani can go there. I think the Tiefling Rogue will be one of the apprentice retinue. So Kumani's going to be a level 8 fighter. Not with wild magic. Fighters don't get wild magic. And then we go to Tiefling Name Generator. Tiefling Name Generator. Bam bam. Fantasy Name Generators. This is a really good one. I like Cherish. Cherish is a good name. Cherish. Tiefling. Be a level 7. Let's see. They're a sorcerer themselves. They're good at magic. They've got a fighter. Tiefling. What's our second one of the apprentices retinue going to be? A tiefling what? She's not a token yet, so let's deal with that. Save image. Where are we? In downloaders again? Yes, we are. Cherish. Train. Cherish. And now I'm going to have to go through, obviously, and make sure that all my labels are the same, because that's... train, engineer, train, gambler, passenger, 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 server, server, stoker, apprentice. No, go away. There we go. And you can go away. Let's... hang on, I had things... there we go. Let's create an unassigned character. 2 NPCs here. Give them a character portrait. We've already got one. Set that portrait. Cherish is the name. They are a tiefling. Boop. Yes. And that's all a thing. What am I going to give them? I like monks, but that's because I've watched too many kung fu movies. Tiefling bards are always fun. Tiefling rogue. Tiefling rogue. Let's be a rogue. Level 7 rogue. The characters are level 3. The NPCs I'm building now are not necessarily ones that I'm expecting them to fight. But I'm still building a whole thing. So, stealth, sleight of hand, deception, insight, expertise, stealth, and sleight of hand. Roguish archetype, they will be an arcane trickster. The first character pretty shy, timid when talking to people. He's pretty intimidating and bulky, but he's actually really kind. Yada yada. Doesn't think himself at all. Doesn't talk much. But as you do that, get more comfortable people. Yeah, that makes sense. And that's actually really handy if you're relatively new as a player. That's a handy thing to fold into your character. Are the characters on a time limit? Will they get a chance for a short rest? It's a 6-day trip across the wasteland on this train. Whether they see that as then being in a rush or not, I don't know. That'll be down to them. Yeah. Thieves' tools. Ability score improvement. But yeah, having a character who's shy to begin with is a good thing as a new player, because then you will get more comfortable at the table, interacting with the other players at least. So then that's something that you can manage, which is good. Yes. Well, so it's not a no. It's they're on this train. It's going across a wasteland between two places. In fact, what I've had a lot of fun developing is... oh, hang on. What? No. Get over there, you bastard. Oi. Do what I told you. There's actually potentially going to be a point at which they're going to be attacked by a giant monster in the wasteland. And so these tentacles may or may not come in from the sides. Which would be a lot of fun. I shut that entire window and I didn't want to. Like, oh yeah. Come on. I can go away. So I wish the ability score was swapped with class. What am I going to choose? Let's do a point buy. I want dexterity to be high. Charisma to be high. Wisdom to be relatively high. Strength and constitution, I'm actually happy to dump. So the wisdom gets a bonus. And charisma gets a bonus. Sorry, intelligence gets a bonus. So intelligence kicks off as 14. Okay. What happens if I make that 11? Yeah, nah. 13. Right. So they're going to be a bit weedy, which is fine. And then I'm going to go back to ability score improvement. Try and remember what roughly they're... What do I give them a feat? There's no point in giving them something like actor. Alert's good. +5 to initiative, can't be surprised, don't gain advantage, yada yada yada. Yes, 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 yes. Now I get to give them something. Criminal. Choose a thing. Perception. And investigation. Let's go with that. Gambling set. Dice. Ooh, what are they going to be good with? Poisoner's kit. Woo ha ha. Character details. I'll just describe them. Let's give them the starting equipment. Equipment. They can have a rapier. And the short bow. And the short bow will probably actually be a firearm because we're in that world. They can have a burglar's pack. 1,000 ball bearings. So much can be done with 1,000 ball bearings. I'm going to add some starting equipment. I'm also going to add a poisoner's kit. I'm going to add a dagger, which is +1. Oh, dagger of venom. That's handy. They're a level 7 person. They've got some good stuff going on. Have they got any equipment? So let's have a look at them. Anyway, it's about 2:30. Wow! Wow, wow, wow. Have a good night's sleep, James, and hopefully you don't have too much to do in the morning. And thank you very much for dropping on. I really appreciate anyone who gives me their eyeballs, so thank you very much. And you're most welcome, and hopefully my help was actually helpful. Dagger, arrows, leather armor, rapier, short bow. Okay, so we're going to get rid of that jank leather armor. Manage equipment. Inventory. Leather armor. Remove. Yeah, don't want you. We're going to give you some magical armor. That I'm proficient with. Okay, armor of cold resistance. Load more. Armor of thunder resistance. Load more. Let's just do that. Like that's pretty good. And that's a solid AC as well, which is nice. Boop. Okay, so we have a cherish with a +7 to initiative is handy. Cool. Alrighty, let's go back to the campaign because I'll probably be creating another character or two. And I can't. That's the other thing. I wish I could shift characters. I'm sure there's a way to do it. Oh, actually, I'm going to take a moment to see. Move characters between campaigns D&D Beyond. If you have a character in one campaign, you want to move them to a new campaign, go to your old campaign, remove them from it, then go to the new campaign, copy the link you would send this player. Oh, okay, so it's all about playing with links. Well, I won't do that when I'm recording stuff that I'm potentially going to be showing to the entire world. There's Cherish. Okay. There's the apprentice. There's Kumani, who is being put forward very much as a samurai. So the three of them... Hello. Will be here in steerage. I'm actually thinking what I might do is save these tokens somewhere and have them in disguise so that if the players go through here, then they don't necessarily... How to have so many character slots? Only 6 play rounds. I pay D&D Beyond money to have an unlimited campaigns and unlimited character slots. And I am happy to do it because I really, really, really like D&D Beyond. I really like D&D Beyond. I have a pro D&D Beyond account and I have a pro Roll20 account. So I give them both monies so that I can do that which I wish to do. So what I'm going to do now here is Roll20 tokens, D&D token, civilian. Nah, civilian's a bit meh. Townspeople, how about that? There we go. There's a child. There's a dwarf. Oh, I like him. I like them, rather. Saving them. Thank you. Yes, I downloaded it. You're good. Okay. So what I want is something like a child. Child. Nope, that's an actual child. I don't want to use pictures of actual children for my adventure. Someone likes Val Kilmer. Child, D&D. There we go. So I just want one that looks like a kid to put in the passenger token. And then they can work out if something is or isn't a problem. D&D halfling male. Excuse me for yawning. Okay, come on. There really are some ridiculously talented people out there. D&D child. Redhead. Once again, don't want actual children. No. Bad eBay. Right. Look, pose isn't ideal, but that's kind of the thing I'm wanting. Tiefling. Oh, look. That's not even how you're remotely spelling it. D&D. Tiefling. Townspeople. Just want a tiefling civilian. Just a tiefling person. No one special. or D&D townspeople. If they're in disguise, then they can just be in disguise. No one's cloakingness, though. That's a rogue. Oh, there's armor. Don't need armor. Fantasy innkeeper. Commoner. That's the word I was looking for. Commoner playing with a scorpion. That's not particularly common, is it? That's not a commoner. Fantasy commoner. You know, one of those I'll know it when I see it kind of moments? All of these are just absolutely wonderful, but they're not what I'm specifically looking for or thinking. That's a mage. That's a wizard. My phone just buzzed. It confused me a little bit. Fantasy commoner. Come on. I'm also trying to make my NPCs a bit more diverse as well, so I'm working on that. But these are all male presenting, and I want fantasy peasant. Yeah, well, that's getting a bit closer. You know what? She straight up polymorphed them. So, file information. The apprentice disguise. You gonna do the thing? No, you're not gonna do the thing. Save image, file information. Train. Cherish. Disguise. Because our tiefling rogue thinks it's funny to be disguised as a monk. Hermit, I like that too. Nope, wrong way. Boop. Download image. Oh, he's little. That's right. Don't matter. Train. Kumani. Disguise. There we go. So now I can go to downloads. Go to token stamp. Save image as. Go away. Save image as. And then. So this is also probably massive over preparation as well. So I've got all this stuff and they might not go near it. They might accidentally set off some kind of fantasy nuclear bomb. Okay. Yes. And then just doing some name changing here. Yes. Okay. Oh, that's right. I was also going to give them a druidess. Because I think it's going to be pretty awesome if they decide to wild shape in the middle of a bloody great train. That's enough of that. That's enough of that. Create. Confirm. Elf. Druid names. Oh, look at it. No, druid name generator. Fine. Wow. So many things that I won't even be able to pronounce properly. What about elf names? This is a different one. I haven't encountered this one before. I am absolutely going to steal that link. There's a lot going on there. I like it. Ormalin. Oh, I like Ormalin. That's good. That's a good name. Ormalin. And that is... choose the file. Downloads. Set the portrait. Ormalin. So they're going to be an elf. They're going to be a wood elf. Choose race. They're going to be a druid. And that class. They're going to be a level 6 druid, I think. Oh, I want them to have awesome wild shape. So they can be a level 8 druid. Medicine. Nature. Druid circle. Ooh. Let's see. I really like the idea of circle of spores. Remind me about Circle of Shepherd, please. D&D Beyond, if you would be so kind. Control find. Shepherd. Oh, it's right there was a link. Click. Commune with spirits, especially spirits of beasts and the Fae, and call to these spirits for aid. Druids recognize all living things play a role in the world, yet they focus on protecting animals and Fae creatures that have difficulty defending themselves. Bam! Done. I thought that was in character, and it is. Again, I can do what I want, but still. Okay, so... what is the spellcasting ability? Is Wisdom. Okay. So let's go into the point buy. Right. We'll leave strength and dexterity at the moment. Let's be... racial bonus is in dexterity. That's good to know. Is there a wisdom racial bonus? There is. Let's go with that. Let's go with average. Let's say we're average intelligence. We're okay. I think I want to do a bit more, because I want them to be able to, like, be quite tough. And I think we're gonna go back here. Do we want a feat or an ability score improvement? I think we want an ability score improvement. I think we want to get that strength and dex up. And I think we're just going to do that for both of them, because I think that she's going to be a bit of a tank for our 14 strength, 16 dexterity, 60... Yes. I am AN fan. Let's see what happens if I do that. And then I do that. Hey, look at that. A little bit more tanky. They're going to be a hermit. And I'm gonna have stealth. They are gonna be a brewer, because that's fun. And they're gonna also speak. Doesn't have to be one that's particularly helpful, but let's have a look at what we've got here. Infernal, so they can have a chat with our friend. They can do with their starting equipment. Any simple weapon. How about they have a quarterstaff? Because druids get shillelagh, and shillelagh is fun. Explorer's pack and a druidic focus is totem. Notes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And another simple melee weapon is a dagger, because it's always handy to have. Oh, hand axe. I like hand axes. It's evocative. I'm going to hit them with my axe. Yes. Do that. And again, they've been adventuring for a while. They've been together for a while. Okay. Base AC doesn't suck, but let's go through here. Hand axe. Quarterstaff. Which can be shillelagh. And I want to give them a bit of magic armor as well. No, that's not helpful. Inventory. Go away. Remove. Remove. You have... There we go. Shield, chain... What's that do? Armor class is 13. There's all those resistances again. Thunder resistance, elven chain, half plate, dragon scale. Ooh. Very rare. Requires attunement. Would she run around with a thing? Probably not. Let's be honest. Scale mail, +2 bonus. Okay, so we've come to the end of the road. Probably wouldn't use the dragon scale unless it was sourced ethically. Magically enhanced melee are called Mitzium. When any critical hit against you becomes a normal hit. Hey, hello. Boop. Delightful. Cool. Well, it's come about 10 o'clock. I've done some stuff. Let's see if I can find one more disguise. Yeah, that's the disguise of a druid. And that can go there. Save images. Train O'Marlin disguise. So where am I that aren't currently in use? D&D bits. Token fodder. Downloads. Let's just do that as well. Cool. So train has many token. We have their various disguises, which I will now put here. Comme ça. There we go. I feel like I've achieved some stuff tonight. Thank you very much for making me think about extra things there, Bo. Greatly appreciated. The uncoupling, I think, is a big deal and is one that I'm sure they're going to try. And if they don't, then I'd rather be prepared for it and not use the mechanic. There you go. And then I've got way more people to populate and do stuff with. Okay. Cool. Well, have an awesome evening and a great rest of the week. I'm gonna sit here patting myself on my back, being happy. And then I'm probably gonna play some PUBG. But not on stream. I'm gonna do that on my own. Have a wonderful evening. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to other people. Drink water. Drink more water. You probably need to drink more water. And be happy.